Here as always, and today I'll be bringing you a guide on how I would recommend spending all the souls, more specifically the boss souls that you get throughout your playthrough of the game. I'm currently on my first NG cycle, well, technically my second NG cycle, because I've made a character who's level 227, but this is the first playthrough on this character. So I thought I'd go ahead and show you what I would recommend doing with all the boss souls I've collected. I've got quite a few here. So I'm just going to go through all the different ones and show you what I would recommend doing with each respective one. It should be said that you should do this before lighting, well, or in this case kneeling at the bonfire, as that will kill off Lillywhith, thus making it impossible to transpose your weapons afterwards. So here's just my guide on that.
Ah, well, five in glory. Let's go.
Alright, so we're gonna go off in which the order you encounter them. First of all, that would mean that we're going to start off with the soul of the Fort of Boreal Valley, or in this case, Soul of Boreal Valley Fort. So there are two different things that you can use this soul for. The first one is, let me find it here, Vort's Great Hammer. There's that. And the second thing you can use it for is this. Between Vort's hammer, like his weapon, and the ring, it really depends on your build, but I think I would have to say you should go ahead and go with the weapon, just because it's more usable in your build, because the fact that I have to see scaling and strength and no other scaling, that means with a raw infusion, this thing will be amazing. And as a boss weapon, it has better weapon arts, and more importantly, unique weapon arts from that of others. If you want to go with the ring, if you're going for like a R1 or a spam heavy build where you just get multiple attacks in, that's good. This to me is kind of like the ring. I'm gonna go ahead and call it the rally ring, because if you played Bloodborne, you'll know what rally is. This is basically what that is. I got this on my first playthrough for my first character, but then I decided that I kind of regretted it, because most builds either end up as a strength build or a quality build including strength. So this is good, but you end up getting better rings anyway, so for that, I'm gonna go ahead and go with your Vort's Great Hammer. There's a look at it once again, and I will be making a build for every weapon in the game eventually. It's just a matter of getting it out there and really getting that unique build going, because I've really been wanting to testing what the character limit for Dark Souls 3 is, as well as all the other Souls games. So I'll be testing that out soon. Anyway, here's this one. It's free, just like the ring. Next one is Soul of the Rotted Greatwood, which you can trade in for either the Hollow Slayer Greatsword or the Arstor's Spear, I believe it is. Arstor's Spear. It's kind of it is kind of blurry. Well, not really blurry, but it's just kind of small to me. The Hollow Slayer Greatsword. I believe this is, this deals more damage to hollows, so I believe that would be extra damage to, first of all, more or less just anybody with the kind of white colored skin, the pale skin. Trying to think of any bosses this would be good against. It'd probably work against Slave Knight Gale, I want to think. Maybe the Cursed Rod of Greatwood himself. I'm not really too sure about that. It's not that this one isn't good. In fact, if you are going for more of a dexterity build than a strength build, you should definitely go for it. But between the sword and the spear, I like I like swords more. I'm more of a sword type person. And because of that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Hollow Slave Greatsword. Which, yet again, you get, with his soul, only this time it costs 1,000, same with the spear. The next one on my list would be the one that you get from, where is it? Yeah, there you go. Soul of a Crystal Sage. You can turn that in for either one of the two following rewards. Either the Crystal Sage's Rapier, which is basically a kind of quality weapon, only also scales with intelligence. So if you're going for a sorcerer build, this might be good for you. And then you can also transpose it for this. The Crystal Hail, which casts a cascade of small crystals, soul masses from the sky. If I had to put it into a few words, it's basically like the Soul Arrow from Dark Souls 2, only you project it into the air and it rains down on your enemy. Regardless of whether you're a strength or regardless of what build you are, I'd probably recommend Crystal Hail, especially if you're a sorcerer build or any magic-based build, in my opinion. And I would go for it, except I know I'm never going to use it because I only have 9 points of intelligence and I don't even have a good catalyst. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the Crystal Sage's Rapier, just the same as I'd recommend if you're a strength or dex build, quality build, you name it. As long as you're not a mage build in the slightest, or a splash mage, otherwise go for the Crystal Hail. Next up we have Soul of Deacons of the Deep. You could get either Cleric's Candlestick, which I'm surprised isn't the Faith version of what we just saw, but I mean, as you can see, I can't even use that. So it's either that or yeah, I think it's over here. Yeah, or Deep Soul, which fires darkened soul sediments. They both require 12. Yeah. This is kind of the same thing as last time, only this time they both require no souls, as opposed to the Crystal Sages, which was requiring 1,500 per, per transposition. Anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and get ourselves the Cleric's Candlestick. Next up we have the Soul of a Stray Demon, which is the mini boss you'll encounter in the let's see, isn't this, yeah, I believe this is the giant ogre from the top of the tower. This right above where you go to enter the Wolf Covenant, that utilizes Sword Blade Moongrass or something like that. for lack of a better term, I'm just gonna call it Sith's Covenant. You can either use it for that, or is that the other thing you can use it for? That doesn't really look like it. No, so either the Boulder Heave, Pyromancy, or Havel's Ring. Havel's Ring's transposition costs 5k souls, but Boulder Heave's is 0. Honestly, I'm not, even if I did have the extra 700 souls, I wouldn't be getting Havel's Ring, just because I prefer to get it for free as a New Game Plus 1 transposition, or not transposition, as an item. So, for that reason, I'm going to go ahead with Boulder Heave. Next up, we have Soul of High Lord Wolnir, which you can use to either get Black Serpent, which is a very good pyromancy. Not the best, but it's definitely in the top 5. Let's see. Yeah, it's either that or Wolnir's Holy Sword, which is all across the board, really. Obviously I'm gonna go Wolnir's Holy Sword, which costs 0, just the same as Black Serpents. Again, you can use whatever you wish, but based off of the judgment I gave earlier, plus after hearing what I said, I really do believe I agree with it, so I'm going to go with Wolnir's Holy Sword. Next up, we have Soul of the Abyss Watchers. Oh, is that what it's called? Soul of the Blood of the Wolf, okay. Alright. So you have Soul of the Blood of the Wolf, which you can transpose for either the Farron Greatsword, which is free, or is that it? That's okay. That surprises me. Okay. Well, never mind. I guess you can only get the, guess you can only use it to get the weapon. Which, I mean, it's... Oh, no. Or you could use it for Wolfsnake Greatsword. Honestly, I still think I'm gonna go ahead and have to go with the Farron Greatsword, just because I think it looks a bit cooler, in my opinion. Plus, I already had a friend who gave this to me. Shoutouts to my friend, One-Eyed Owl. When I do make my build videos, I will be giving him many shoutouts, because he is responsible for pretty much my entire growth between Scholar of the First Sin, well, back with original Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. He's helped me out quite a bit in Bloodborne, and to this day he's still helping me out with Dark Souls 3, so thank you, Mimens. So for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and get Farron Greatsword. Otherwise, you can get what you want. If you're strength build, I guess Greatsword, and the Farron Greatsword if you're a more of a dex build. I'd still recommend Farron Greatsword all around, just because of the, mainly just because of the souls you'll be saving. Next up, I believe is the Soul of Pontiff Sullivan. You can either get the Greatsword of Judgment, which I'm telling you right now, I really don't think anything else is beating this, because I love swords. Or, now you got the Profaned Greatsword. Alright. Greatsword Judgment. What is this? This is more of a... Is that intelligence? So that's more of a... Okay. assuming I'm reading this correctly, yeah, because intelligence icons before faith. So this is a quality slash faith slash build with, well, technically more of a, intelligence sorcerer build. Or you have the profaned greatsword, which is clearly a strength weapon. Maybe a quality build if you really want it. I'm gonna go with the Profane Greatsword just because, A, it sounds a heck of a lot cooler, and also just because it's got the skill of Profane Flame, which I haven't actually seen in action, but if it has anything to do with fire or flames, which I'm assuming it does, I'm gonna just, that's all I needed to hear. Next up, we have the Soul of a Demon. If I'm being completely honest, I don't really know where I got this from. You could probably check out the Fexture Life wiki for Dark Souls 3, as well as any other Souls game, if you're confused as to where to get it. Let's see. Demonic Flare. Yeah, Flare. Or the, Demon's Fist. Oh, I remember this. This is that weapon that's, the Strength Pyro build. That would have been great for my other character. But, sadly, I won't be doing that. I will be going with the, Demon's Great Axe, which I still can't use because of the stat requirements, but still. Literally across the board scale. Next up we have the Soul of the Dancer. Oh crap, I think I'm forgetting to say the different prices. Soul of the Demons was 0. I believe, yeah, on both. We also have the Pontiff Sullivan Soul, which was 3,000 for both. And, okay, I think that was it. I think those are the only ones I skipped. Moving on, we have the Soul of the Dancer, which you could use for either the Dancer's Enchanted Swords, or I think it's just because I don't have enough souls. Yeah. Alright, so you could either use it for that, or I'm trying to see if there's another. You could either use it for Soothing Sunlight, which is a miracle, which restores high HP for self and a minor AoE. You'll see the enemies in Lothric Castle using this a lot. Sigh. That one costs 5,000 souls, this one costs 0. Plus, I would prefer the Enchanted Swords. Just because, you know, again, swords. As opposed to something I'll never use. Or at least not in this character. Next up, we have the Soul of Yorm the Giant, which could get us either Yorm's Great Machete, which is an awesome strength weapon, or the shield. Yes, Yorm's Great Shield. Luckily, yet again, I've had an amazing friend who has helped me get this without technically working. Well, not that I didn't work for it, I just traded for it. Well, he more or less gave it to me. I mean, I gave him like 3 bug pellets to help him with, this, Ornstein from Souls 1, that's reskinned as the Dragon Slayer armor. And I gave him a bit of, I gave him like 3 embers, and, yeah, I gave him like some pretty much worthless stuff that he said he'd use. Oh yeah, and some 100 charms. Again, whichever you want, but as a strength build, I'd recommend Storm Spirit Stratagem. Honestly, just all around. Because it'd be better in the long run. Next up, you have Soul of Dragon Slayer Armor, which you can use for either Dragon Slayer Great Axe or the Dragon Slayer Great Shield. I'm actually tempted to get the shield just because the scaling on the Great Axe is kind of weird. But nonetheless, I suppose we'll go with the Great Axe. I mean, again, it's up to you. With this to 0, by the way. But again, your choice. Next up, we have Soul of the Old Demon King, which is that fire boss from Nostalgia Road, or the Fading Lake, not Fading Lake, what's it called? The Fire Lake, Smoldering Lake, there you go. You can use it for Old King's Great Hammer, which sounds intimidating enough, or there has to be more, right? Or yeah, Chaos Spread Vestiges. I will say this right now. If you are a sorcerer, pyromancer, and to an extent, even a faith build, get Vestiges. By far, it is the best pyromancy in the game so far. Yeah. This will two-shot people at best. I've had games where this will one-shot people. Albeit considering they were the invaders, but even as a host, I three-shot somebody with this while he was in the middle of healing. It's easy to get around if you roll either forward, like through it, or straight to the side. But if they get hit by it, it darn well wins them. And, oh boy. If you're in PvE with this thing, it demolishes. I mean, I've destroyed many bosses with this. Bosses that are usually big threats up close are pretty much worthless against this. I've had games where the Soul of Cinder himself wasn't able to dodge out the way because his AI, I guess. And it was, good times. Personally, I'm still gonna go with the Great Hammer. But it definitely is worth the extra 5k souls if you are in any magic build, honestly. Next up we have the Soul of Champion Gundyr, which is 0 for both. You can go with either Gundyr's Halberd or the Prisoner's Chain. I do my best to be objective on this, especially on a guide like this, but I really don't know why you'd want to get the Prisoner's Chain. So I'm getting Gundyr's Halberd. Again, I'm trying to be objective, but use whichever one you want. I just think Halberd is way better. Which brings us to Soul of the Twin Princes. You can either use it for Lorien's Greatsword, or what is that other one? Can't you use it for like a combination sword if you have both parts to it? Yeah, there you go, Lothric's Holy Sword. Sacred Lothric Light, or Flame. Okay, yeah, Lorien's. Yep. Just to be sure. Oh, this is the across the board. Yeah, I'm going with Lorien's Greatsword. For 0 souls here, 5k there. Your choice of which one you do yet again. But personally, I recommend Lorien's Greatsword. With that being said, there are still some that haven't been used. For an example, let's see here. We have the Venerable Old Hand of Cyros, Consumed King Aldrich, we still haven't used. Let me just go ahead and make sure that does. Let me try to think. still have that thing. Yeah. I have, the reason I'm not transposing Osiris's Moonlight Greatsword is because, again, thanks to a good friend of mine, I already have it. God knows I just transposed it to that anyway, because it's probably just a sorcery, but, you know, whatever. So now all that remains is the soul of Osiris and Aldrich, as well as the soul of the, Soul of Cinder, whom is the final, well, not the final boss of the game, but he's kind of close. I have heard that he's undergone a change with the Firelink Greatsword. I haven't tested it. I'm saving it as a surprise. I will come back with a part 2 for this video, where I will show what Osiris's, Aldrich's, the DLC bosses, all the bosses in both DLC souls, as well as the Ancient Wyvern and the Nameless King souls that I've transposed them for, on a different video. In the meantime, it's been a great time having you guys. Something that just popped in my head, I have a list with me of all the friends to thank, where I've gotten most of my stuff from. Oh my god, it's so dark. Let me just shine the light on this from my controller. Dark Chaos something with different some are caps, some are lower caps. Dark Chaos, I believe it is. Mainly Dark Chaos and One-Eyed Owl, as well as Loader, and and Dark Wolf Rider, as well as KJ. Thank you all for the help that you've given me on this journey. In the meantime, thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And in the meantime, this has been Doing Charisma, signing out. See you guys in the next one.